Hello and welcome back to the Generator God playthrough, when we continue to hook up our iron-free outpost and rejiggle the rails and all that jazz. And yeah, we need to redirect some trains, because I don't want to do a stacker here, because it's pointless. We don't really need more than 2 or 3 trains on this line anymore. Dragon, are you talking to yourself again?
Nah.
Not this
I'm
time?
just a bit tired. Had a long day.
I might need some rails delivered to me. Yeah. So yeah, yesterday I had a interesting evening. The electricity went out first time in like, I don't know, 5 years or something like that.
Had a blackout.
Sounds like it, yeah.
I didn't understand what you said.
You had a blackout.
Yeah. So something broke. Weirdly enough, also wife's phone died, and today we got the battery replaced for it, but honestly, it might have been the voltage spike that killed the battery. No, at least they just replaced it via warranty, so haven't had to pay anything.
Been doing lots of research recently on solar, but sort of real world solar, not Factorio's. I've installed. Well, some context. I have a hotel in Cambodia, and I've installed solar panels on the roof of the bar, and the bar runs purely off of solar. But it's not quite enough. So we top up the power every now and then by running a generator, which has to be run every now and then because there's no way the solar could run the water pump, which needs to be run for half an hour a day to top up the water for the showers and stuff. No, but the whole solar thing isn't running as well as it should.
Well, there's a lot of little things you have to consider, and
oh yeah,
one of
lots
the
of variables.
Yeah, but also one of the things is that you really need it to oversize. It has to have a bit of let's just say power redundancy or overcapacity, because solar isn't running 100% all the time. And the second
This isn't Europe, though. I mean, Cambodia, the sun is out most of the time, so it's the calculations are quite good for that area.
Yeah, but what many people do not take into account, there are inefficiencies. So basically, there is efficiency of all the components involved, and because it's also low voltage systems usually, because people usually do 24 or 48 volt, and it's DC. It actually has quite horrific transmission losses. So
Sure, I calculated in that every time that power got converted, there'd be a 20% inefficiency. So hopefully,
how big is your solar setup?
700 watt.
700 watts? That's you can't run a pump of it off of it. It's impossible.
Exactly.
Well,
I don't.
You probably should just buy more, because 700 watts is not really a lot. Or you mean kilowatts?
No, just watts. It's expensive to get. The thing is, solar isn't expensive, but it's expensive to get it there.
Oh, yeah, but 700 watts, that's basically like a handheld little thing. Because one square meter of solar power in my region gives like 200 watts of power at summer, so in Cambodia that should be quite more.
This is. I think there's more than 700 watts of capacity there. The 700 watts is what the system feeds in on average throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it's probably a 1 kilowatt system, and 700 watts is the.
Yeah, honestly, at that size, it's never gonna be viable, or you cannot rely on that size of a system. If you really want something proper, you need to make it at least twice your, well, not twice, but you need to calculate like what's your peak power you need to run everything at once, and you basically size it for that, and you size it so it gives that power at the lowest sun period in your area. That's when you can actually start to rely on it, more or less. And then you add batteries, and at that point you may become self-sufficient.
But you don't need to use all the power at all the time. You don't need to calculate that as a basic need. That just means you need to do some trade-off. That means you don't have the full luxury of doing just whatever the fuck you want at all the times.
Yeah, but if you... Because I'm guessing there are no batteries.
There are batteries.
Oh, there are, so... Well, basically you need to size the system, yeah, it's a bit tricky and does require investment. But general rule of thumb, lots of people just do not size it properly. And you need to oversize it to be really reliable. In a sense that it produces enough power to cover your needs and not to drain your batteries too much. That's the one thing of...
Yeah, I mean, the big calculation at the moment is we might not have the hotel forever. In fact, another 2 years we lose the lease. So we either need to buy another lease or sell what we have and try to make the most money out of it.
Yeah.
So buying stuff now that then we won't need in 2 years.
Yeah, doesn't make sense from business perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to do a power I want to build a house and do a solar power setup, but yeah, here at 56 parallel, you really need something like 10-15 kilowatt power setup, and it's not even gonna be enough in the winter. So if I really want to be self-sufficient, I need like 500 kilowatt storage system and 20-30 kilowatt batteries, so I can actually generate some decent power in the winter.
Well, are you assuming then you're going to use electric for heat?
Actually not, because in winter, like January, February, the solar power is very shitty. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be with a grid tie-in, because for winter, either you basically build yourself a power plant that can generate enough electricity in winter, and that means huge storage. That's just too expensive. Or you have a grid tie-in and you sell the bulk of electricity you sell in summer, but then you're gonna sell like solar power station amounts of electricity per day, like in hundreds of kilowatts.
Yeah.
And it's also expensive. It's actually not that expensive on panel side, it's actually the batteries. And because these days you really want to go with lithium batteries for the storage too. So it's lasts long. Those suckers do cost a lot.
Why would you not just use some hardcore lead acid batteries?
Because they need to be replaced roughly every 2 years, and they actually weigh a fuck ton. And when you calculate in the lifetime, lithium batteries are more cost effective on a scale of 5-10 years.
But is that assuming you're using the lead acid batteries that have the solid plates, not the spongy plates of car batteries?
Well, there are specifically like grid storage batteries that are, because car batteries are not gonna be good for that. They are.
They are peaky.
Yeah, but you don't need peaks. You actually need sustain.
Yeah, I know. That's why you shouldn't use car batteries. That's what I'm saying.
No.
On the subject of batteries, there are batteries on the belts.
Yay! Wait, should there be?
Thanks for that info.
Oh yes. Oh, that means we're making
Robots?
no, but that means we have the gas thingamajig here. Yes. Sulfur. Where are you getting the where's the gas? Wait, you didn't. Oh, okay. Yes. Yep. I was worried you had made a pipeline all the way down to the oil factory. Ha.
No.
Ha.
It probably needs a pump or two, but I'm not sure we're using enough of it to worry right now.
Nah, the pipes are basically full.
Yeah, also I think we decided we were gonna use trains anyway.
Yeah, but we are using trains, but from the train unloading to where it's used, it's still a long distance.
Oh, I mean, that's right. Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's the closest part of the bus area. I was going to do it further up, but then I thought that the longer I send a pipeline, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah. How long do you plan on streaming today?
Well, we are at 2 hours. Well, I can do it maybe for 2 more hours.
Right. I'm not sure I lost that long.
Sorry I didn't catch you at the beginning. Of course, the UK's had its daylight savings time, so it was an hour different.
Yeah, but in chat we were talking in absolute time, so not at 8 o'clock, but in 1 hour. And 1 hour is still 1 hour, even if you have daylight saving time or not have daylight saving time. So I hear excuses here. That's not good enough. The addiction must be fed.
Someone's writing in Discord something. Oh, fantasy is streaming too.
Okay, so I need to get lube here. Which train station can I ship in lube?
I don't think we have any train station that has fluid handling set up, so
There's a couple that have got the offloading of physical items ghosted. Can I just unghost one of them and use one of those?
yeah, you can. You might also maybe. Well, that wall train station that is not connected to the rails anymore, you could actually maybe just remove that part and have a fluid setup, like unloading maybe somewhere near the actual factory, so you don't have to route the pipes that that distance, and through the main bus and things, and just.
Where do you mean? Oh, up the top there.
The taxi stations are not usable anymore, so you basically can remove them and use that space.
We use bots to do that.
Well, picking up rails now is not that hard as it used to be. You remember when picking up rails was an actual mess? Not mess, but actually hard.
Oh, is there an easier way than just kind of right-clicking and walking?
I think that is what Sias meant by easier.
Okay. I was just making sure I wasn't missing a trick.
Don't tell him!
I'm placing rails is ridiculously easy now.
And the range you can do that at is
Yeah, it's almost exploitive.
It is exploitive because you can use the map view and start where you are and just continue it into infinity. You're still gonna need to add rail signals. This is so sad. We're limited by green science because we're not making enough plates. Because there's not enough ore coming in.
Well, I set up first trains, so...
You didn't place any radars there, though.
Yeah, give me a sec.
One. Why is there no radar up yet? I give you a second, exactly as you asked.
Stop being unreasonable.
Listen, I'm just taking you seriously. You said you needed 1 second. I thought I was a bit weird, but I trusted you. And look where that got me.
What's the lesson here?
Never trust Sias.
Don't trust anyone.
No, you can just most people, just not Sias specifically.
Asshole.
Yes, I have one of these. I'm assuming you do too.
You think so?
Well, I would hope so. because there's not that many other ways the ship can go.
Maybe he's an android.
Well, that would explain quite a bit, though.
It might not.
Beep boop, we may never know. Right, Sias? Haha, haha.
Probably, unless you come to visit.
Well, you're far away, and I'm poor.
Oops, I messed up oil trains. Go fix that. Always with the signals.
Yeah.
Are there any plans to do another Clusterio?
Yes, we are, but it's very much on the back burner right now because it's hard to keep people motivated over time.
Agreed.
Yeah. So if there's any one of you listening and you think you might have any skills applicable to Clusterio, both as far as management, moderation, graphical shit, PR, development work, you know. Basically, we're an open source project. We need everyone. All positions are open. That's how you know it's a true open source project, right?
All positions are open.
Yes.
Isn't that also the on the front page of the Kama Sutra?
Maybe. I haven't read that book, so I wouldn't know. I mean, surely only a madman would read that. I hear it contains lewds.
It's nice that we're keeping up with power again. It's very useful to be able to do things.
Actually, as far as power is concerned, we're underusing quite badly.
Yeah, I think we're only half using it.
Yeah, we could now be using 144 megawatts. So yeah, we're just about halfway. But we're probably starved quite badly by the ore, so as soon as we get more ore flowing, we should be using more power as well.
Probably not worth switching to electric furnaces until much later stuff.
No, Jesus, fuck no. Switching to electric furnaces before you have beacons and modules is just stupid.
Yeah. Much more compact with steel.
That is arguable. Well, actually, it's way more compact with steel, but you could at least make that argument, even if it's flawed. But it's not faster, because people assume that, instead of just looking at the crafting speed and go like, huh, is 2 larger than 2? No. No. 2 is equal to 2.
And until modules are available, I agree. We'll stick to the status.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if 2 is not equal to, then you can be pretty sure it's not a number. Aw, not even a giggle?
Giggle wiggle.
Oh my.
Oh, actually, on that bombshell, we're gonna end the episode. Thanks for watching.
Rip.
Yes, and see you next time. Bye bye.